I wasn't expecting this one. This one comes as a shock to me. Stephen A. Smith calls out and accuses Donald Trump of being the one that sent the raid to the FBI to raid the NBA about the scandal of the allegations of illegal gambling. And he said he's been saying it for years. That he's been saying it for a long time. And you know, Donald Trump already has had his issues with the NBA and with NFL. And don't be surprised if he does it with the WNBA. And the reason is because of the culture that is within the NBA and the WNBA and what's going on. When have you ever seen F.B.I. director come out and address what's going on? Stephen A. Smith said he's never seen that before. And it wasn't to let us know what's going on. It was because it was a statement that Donald Trump wanted to make. Because his altercations and, you know, little beef that he had with the NFL and some players within the NBA, that Donald Trump collaborated and made the FBI to go ahead and, you know, investigate and send a full FBI operation to diminish and find out what these NBA players are doing that is illegal. He didn't do it because it was to save the people, or accordingly to what Stephen A. Smith said, to apprehend the bad things that are going on within the industry itself. He said he did it out of revenge. He did it because he wanted to make a statement to let everybody in the sports know, this is what I'm going to do to destroy and to distract everything what y'all doing. Why? Because the backflashes that he has received, Donald Trump, within the sports industry itself. I don't know how much true it is. I don't know how much of it is facts. But I will tell you this. Stephen A. Smith has a point. Donald Trump is going to get into everything that he can. And he is going to try to expose everything that he can. Because remember, Donald Trump pleaded guilty and he was found guilty in some things that we already know that he did. But he didn't get convicted for the real things that he had to be convicted in. So for that purpose and that reason, and because of athletes not cooperating and feel obligated to do what Donald Trump is asking everybody to do, he felt like he needed to butt in to make a statement. Once again, I don't know how true that is, but Stephen A. Smith will be under fire. Stephen A. Smith will receive so much backlash. Stephen A. Smith will receive so much chaotic. I don't care if it's comments. I don't care if it's people disrespecting him. I don't care if it's Congress, the mayors, the senators trying to get him fired from his job. But I know Donald Trump would do everything in his power to try to get Stephen A. Smith fired. Let's just call it for what it is. And yes, I do believe that Donald Trump has a grudge within the sports industry itself. Just like about the Redskins. He wanted the Washington to put back the Washington Redskins, but the NFL agreed and approved to take the Redskins out and put Commanders. You understand what I'm saying? So basically what Stephen A. Smith is saying, says, y'all ain't do what I said, says I'm the president of the United States. I'm going to go ahead and dig deeper into seeing what y'all doing. And I'm going to call you out for it. And I'm going to make a statement whether you like it or not. So you see, Stephen A. Smith ain't just started a can of whoop ass. He just started something that the president's been wanting to do for the longest time. Y'all think this president really likes the culture? He hates the culture. Look what he's doing to Mexicans and everybody else with immigration. He's making sure he's sending everybody back, even those that are born here, that have parents that are immigrants or non-citizens. He's sending them back home. So I'm not going to discredit Stephen A. Smith and what he said. But you best believe that he will be under fire. Donald Trump will bring the heat. He will make Stephen A. Smith go under pressure and be pressured and be cornered by the wall to the point that he might even get Stephen A. Smith fired. And since he's the president, he has the power to do so. But I know Stephen A. Smith will try to hold himself down, 10 toes down, and keep it in perspective and acknowledge himself into what he says. Now, if he apologizes, let's see if he does that. We don't know. We're not really sure. But what he said about this president is 100% true. He ain't feeling the culture. He don't like what the culture did to him when it came to the football scandal. And majority, what the NBA has stand up and have made him realize, hey, we're not going to go with whatever you say. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We have rights. We have civil rights. And we follow the Constitution of the United States. So there's nothing you can tell us to do when the Constitution says otherwise. And that's where Stephen A. Smith is going to receive a lot of criticism, a lot of negative, comments, and people just jiving on him and just disrespecting him in every type of shape, way, or form. I think since Stephen A. Smith does have a political opinion and thoughts in his channel, and he talks about being the independent political, individual, I know Donald Trump is going to look into that and say, oh, really? Covfefe. Y'all know when Donald Trump says covfefe, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? But at least Stephen A. Smith had the balls to say what he had to say. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that don't have the balls to say what he said, and the majority of, when I talk about sports athletes or analysis or reporters that have their own streaming channel or broadcasters wouldn't even dare to say what Stephen A. Smith just finished saying. And you know what? I got to give him his props. I'm not even going to F you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to BS you. But we will see down the line if Donald Trump will respond to Stephen A. Smith and accordingly to how Stephen A. said it. This is a statement that he's doing to let us know that he is coming and he is not going to stop until he is satisfied and fulfill his journey and mission into degrading and disrespecting, annihilating everything that's within the culture and the NBA and even coming from the WNBA. This is something that we all need to wait, be patient, and see if it happens. And accordingly to Stephen A. Smith, it's going to happen. He's just waiting patiently and go in. Because since when an FBI director comes into the world of the public and give a statement of how many professional basketball players and coaches have been caught in an illegal gambling operation. And they say it's something similar to what the Cosa Nostra, the Gambino family, and everybody had back in them days when the mafia was really strong and big. This is big news, ladies and gentlemen. This is diabolical, if you ask me. But Stephen A. Smith has been under fire, you know what I'm saying, being called the Uncle Tom, doing whatever the white man says to do, how he defends white people and disrespects the brother, you understand what I'm saying? But for the first time in a while, Stephen A. Smith decides to go against the ops and call it for what it is in his term, in his words, and in his own perspectives. And I just want to say, it takes balls to do that. Because Stephen A. Smith is one of the most famous broadcasters and streamers and sports analysis that we have today. And I know a lot of people are going to go in on the president for what Stephen A. Smith said, and they're going to agree with Stephen A. Smith. But let's see what the president and the president's people are going to do. Let's see if the president will degrade himself to get Stephen A. Smith fired or get him out from whatever, I don't know if it's ESPN or close. I don't know which one it is that he's on, but he does have his own broadcast and his own channel, you know, talking about politics and things to that nature. Let's see what Donald Trump is going to do. And believe me when I tell you, Donald Trump always has a trick up his sleeves. So if he wants to eliminate and terminate and evaporate Stephen A. Smith out the camera scene and out the sports industry, he has the power to do it. He is the president of the United States, and he can make that happen. Believe me. But just remember, just as much power Donald Trump has, Stephen A. Smith, with his fans and everybody that's backing him up, and even those that are backing him up within the sports industry, it can backfire on Donald Trump as well. But I think it took guts for Stephen A. Smith to say what he had to say. Because if he did it, then who would say it? It takes balls and it takes courage to do what he did. And with that, this is the ending of the video. Y'all tell me, do y'all think that Stephen A. Smith was wrong for saying it? Y'all think he was stupid by going by his perspective and calling out the president and to blaming him and accusing him and to him being the one that rigged the operation to get within the culture in the NBA to find the operation of illegal gambling? And is he going to do that with the WNBA? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. There's your boy Chico Black. Thank y'all very much, aka Jaloso. Y'all have a beautiful day. Peace.